Let's review a much needed skill that comes up all the time when we're trying to solve triangles, specifically triangles that are not right angle triangles. And that is how to solve proportions with a little tool called cross multiplication. So we're going along with our math problem and everything's going great. All the steps are going really nicely. But then we get to a scenario that looks something like this, where we have to isolate for x and solve for that variable. But we have a fraction or a proportion on the left and a fraction or proportion on the right, and they're separated by an equal sign. So how do we do that? How do we solve for x? Well, this is where cross multiplication comes in. And cross multiplication gets its name because of its shape. It looks something like this. What we'll do first is multiply the x and the 39, and I'm going to draw an arrow connecting the 39 and the x. And then we'll multiply the other two numbers together, the 13 and the 9. And you can see we make a cross. So let's do that. The first thing we need to do is multiply x and 39. Well, x and 39, that just becomes 39x. Then I put down the equal sign that was in the middle of the two proportions. And then I'm going to multiply the 13 and the 9. If you need to use your calculator for any of this, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But I'll just show you that 13 times 9 is 117. So there you go. We did the first stage of cross multiplication. Then this should start to look a bit more familiar to you. I need to isolate x, and there's a 39 multiplying it. And the opposite of multiplication, well, that's division. So I'm going to divide both sides by the number touching the x, which is 39. "39 divided by 39 creates a 1 in front of the x. And typically we don't bother to write that 1 in front of the x. So I'll just say x. 117 divided by 39 is 3. And that's my answer. So this is a skill that could be used to find the length of the side of a triangle. So let's quickly review. Just remember, for cross multiplication, we need to make this shape. And you can actually draw it if you'd like. We take 39 times x, wrote it down here, then 13 times 9, and we got 117 for that. Then we just divide whatever number is touching the x. Divide that on both sides, and we got 3. How about you try one now on paper? I'll give you a proportion with a missing variable. X over 10 equals 3 over 5. So try some cross multiplication on your own now. Hopefully, using cross multiplication, you got an answer of x equals 6. And we got that by doing 5 times x right here, writing down our equal sign, and then 10 times 3, which is 30. Then we divide both sides by the 5 touching the x. And the 5's canceled to make a 1, and 30 divided by 5, that's 6.